In today's video, we're going to do another vintage unboxing. I have a couple of guitar pedals from Walco from the 1970s. Stick around. Now, as I said, these are guitar pedals, and I don't know what else to call them because they aren't really guitar pedals at all. These are still in their original packaging. They are manufactured by Walco. Their original list price was $15.95. What a deal. What a deal. And this is the signal booster, and this is the Accu-TUNER. When I saw these on Goodwill, I said, hey, I've got to have these. They look really cool. They're still in the original packaging. I didn't know what they were worth or what they were. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to make a video about this, and Josh Scott's going to call me and offer me a bunch of money.
I've got to have that pedal. I'll give you $1 million for it.
But no, I checked Reverb and a few other places, and you can still find these. You can still find them in the original packaging too, which is really strange. Reverb listings, who knows? So let's take a closer look. The Accu-TUNER, when I saw this, I said, yeah, tuner, we'll plug it in the guitar. I bet it's got lights that blink or something, a very, early guitar tuner. No. Let's read on. This is the Walco Accu-TUNER, the electronic tuning fork. Now, that should be key right there. The electronic tuning fork accurately tunes any stringed instrument, faster, better, easier. So how does it do that? Well, it produces a pure A tone. And there's a switch to produce a pure E tone if you prefer that. You still have to plug this into your amplifier, and the sound comes out of your amplifier generated by this little, I'm going to call it a signal generator. You can have either an A440 or an E3, whatever that is, 345, I don't know what an E is. It's in here somewhere. But yeah, this is not a tuner by any means. It is more a pitchfork in a new advanced circuit, blah, blah, blah. Sine wave generator, which produces two pure tones, an A at 440 and an E at 349.23. Works with any amplifier. Tune your instrument to an audible tone. We put the battery in this. It generates a tone. Tone comes out of the amplifier. You then tune by ear to that tone, which I guess would have been fine, but so would have a tuning fork would have been fine. Or a device just like this that I know existed in the 70s that you had a little speaker on it that would generate a tone. So you didn't have to have an amplifier to plug it into. Whatever. I don't think they have a lot of value. I don't think Josh Scott's going to be calling anytime soon. So let's go ahead and open these up. I'm going to save the packaging. This, it just broke right away once I started picking it up. Yeah, this is so brittle, it's just falling apart. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's all scuzzy too from being inside that plastic. You can see where the plastic has malformed. I don't know if it's been in heat or what, but yeah, and that's kind of seeped onto this. Off and on. A and E. That's it. I stopped and bought some 9 volts. Okay. It's got a little sponge down there that's probably seen its better days. So I got to turn it sideways. I'm going to turn it on. It's at a 440. And I'm getting no signal from this whatsoever. Either it's defective, broken, time has taken its toll, or plastic has leached in, but I'm not getting any tone out of this whatsoever. I was not happy that I could not get the Accu-TUNER to work, so I worked on it a bit, and actually it just needed a good clean with the old generic deoxit, and now it works as intended. No interference on the plug. The Accu-TUNER will actually plug into it. And here it is. This is what the Accu-TUNER does. So isn't that convenient? Anytime you want to tune up, all you do is grab your Accu-TUNER, find an amplifier that'll actually fit in, and turn it on, and then you can tune the ear to that beautiful A440 or E that it's putting out. The signal booster, again for all electronic instruments, makes your amplifier sound 6 times louder. adds sound power to low input microphones and amplifiers. Okay, so yeah, one of the things that they're showing being plugged into this is a microphone. So I'm wondering if this isn't geared more towards the microphones. I don't know. If it was a guitar, you figure you'd have a picture of a guitar like this one. More than a 50 dB boost. Precision engineered, sturdy, solid state circuitry. Let's see, solid state. It's a preamp. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to open this one too. Again, the packaging is like melted to it. Like I said, the plastic has been on there so long that it's conformed to the shape of the
Signal booster.
signal booster time. Now, it says you can plug it onto either the amp or the instrument. So you get an idea of what it sounds like. It's not overpowered by any means. Let's see if the signal booster does anything at all. I'm going to kind of leave the battery wedged in there. Okay, so it seems to be working better on this amplifier on the floor. It's just a little crate GXR15. Yeah, it definitely boosts. Well, the signal booster, in fact, does what it's supposed to. This input is a little funky. Like I said, you got to plug this into an amplifier and room. You know what I mean? Plugs aren't always convenient and easy to get to. Maybe you could use an extension, but why would you bother? So the Accu-TUNER was a bust. All that it does is generate a tone, either an A or an E, and you tune by ear to the tone that it's generating through your amplifier. That was the Accu-TUNER, which is essentially an electronic pitchfork that is a pain in the butt to use even if it worked. And then secondly was the Walco signal booster. Once the cobwebs were blown out, it did work. A clean boost that will push an amplifier to distortion. Now if this comes off in one piece, it did. You know the horror of pulling off your 9-volt battery and finding out that this piece right here is still attached to your battery? You remember that. Then you put this on, and maybe you'd take some tape and wrap around the battery real nice and tight, stretch that black tape so it would hold on there real good and make good contact. You never did that, right? Me neither. This was never a video about recommending this vintage gear to anybody. It was just me curious to try it out, see what it actually did, if it did anything at all. The Accu-TUNER was a bust. I just don't see why this would ever have been of value to anybody. There's just much better references for tuning that are easier, more convenient. Hell, even a little pitch pipe is better than this, in my opinion. Signal booster does deliver exactly what it says. It boosts the signal from very quiet to extremely loud. Again, I think this was always intended towards microphones, to be a preamp for microphones. It does boost guitar signal just fine as well. Could indeed put this in a guitar signal chain on a pedal board today and still use it. However, it's a clean boost, and there are a lot better options for a clean boost today besides this. Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in today and watch me mess around with this old vintage gear. If you like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I promise there'll be more good stuff coming. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. YouTube doesn't care either way. If you drop a comment, that'd be appreciated too. So until next time, take care of yourself, enjoy your gear, new, old, or otherwise, and peace. Yeah, $15.95. Today a Behringer pedal goes for about $25. Go figure.